What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. In 1995, something awesome opened, something new. And though I wasn't alive for it, I imagine it was pretty bizarre to say the least. With the creation of Togo's Ultra Twister, this coaster had promise, uniqueness, and thrills, but sadly it failed and closed forever. Many of you I'm sure have heard of it, and maybe even ridden it, but I'm here to tell its tale and recap one of the world's weirdest and most unique coasters to this day. I mean, it was truly weird. So what is it, and where did it come from? This is the story of Six Flags Great Adventures, Viper. To understand the history of Viper, we first need to take a look at the first pipeline roller coaster to open in the United States, Ultra Twister, which used to be located at Six Flags Great Adventure. Togo, the company that made the ride, created a full-scale prototype after Six Flags relocated Ultra Twister and debuted it at their testing center in Ohio. This new design included a dive loop, which was a brand new element that Togo named with the prototype, and featured a distinctive inline twist at the peak of a vertical loop. Six Flags Great Adventure then adopted the idea and hired Togo once again to erect one in the spot where Ultra Twister once stood. Under the name Viper, construction began, which cost an estimated $4 million, and was completed on June 2, 1995. Although it received positive reviews at first, it had several maintenance problems and long periods of downtime throughout the years. Guest satisfaction immediately decreased as a result of poor ride quality, and a growing reputation for being quite rough occurred. The complicated boarding and unloading process in which passengers entered and exited the station from the same side also reduced the ride's hourly capacity. Additionally, the over-the-shoulder restraints and lap bar system proved to be difficult to use, which led to long loading times, and consequently, Viper was closed for the majority of the 1998 season, just 3 years after it opened. At the same time, and little to Six Flags' knowledge, Togo, the manufacturer, was also experiencing financial difficulties as a result of the Windjammer Surf Racers, which was a severely failed ride that they'd introduced at Knott's Berry Farm in 1997. I also made a video on that coaster, which is linked in the description. Anyways, the joints along the track were unable to adequately take the force from the trains as well, and track segments were frequently being re-welded and even completely replaced. All these factors caused Viper to operate inconsistently for several years before failing to open with the park in 2001 after the off-season. It then stayed closed throughout the rest of that year, and there was speculation that it would remain that way permanently. The promotional material and map for the ride was subsequently removed, only adding to this theory. Then, rather abruptly, Togo closed their American offices and filed for Chapter 7 bankruptcy. At this point, Six Flags was pretty much ready to get rid of Viper entirely and looked to switch it out for an attraction from a different park, of which none were found. Then, to everyone's surprise, Viper randomly reopened to the public on March 29, 2002, after they continued with the train and track upgrades. Unfortunately for Six Flags, though, these modifications did not address lingering problems, and by 2004, Viper had only one operating train left. It was then dismantled in June of 2005 after serving its final season, and was replaced by El Toro, a record-breaking wooden roller coaster that launched in 2006. Scrap metal was taken away, and now all that remains of Viper is its station, which is still in use by El Toro. So, with all that said, that's all I got on Viper, but as always, it's been a major pleasure creating new content for all of you, and if you found this video informative or entertaining, please feel free to give us a like or subscribe. It does take a lot of work, but I'm glad to be back researching and talking about the weird stuff people like, so if you did, that'd be super helpful. If you have any suggestions, of course, feel free to leave those down below as well, but other than that, I appreciate you all being here, and we'll see you all in the next video. See ya!